Florida Republican Congressman Brian Mast to talk about the raid as well as IRS expansion. But let's start with the raid first and where Aisha left off. You know, many people are saying that this completely backfired, Congressman, that in fact, President Trump's base is more angry and more rallied around him than ever. And he should be announcing that he wants to run in 2024. This would put wind at his back. A pending investigation is a pending investigation. It's not a criminal conviction. He could run again. Do you think that he should announce sooner rather than later?
I think the president should announce sooner rather than later. I think we also need to be told by the FBI and the administration just what conversations they had politically about when they were going to execute their raid. If politics was a part of their plan for executing that raid, my money would go on, yes, it was absolutely a part of the conversation. And it is angering Republicans and conservatives and supporters of President Trump across the board. It is rallying us. And the final thing it's doing, it's reminding us that this didn't begin with a raid on President Trump's house. There was also this Steele dossier that the Democrat Party leaked to Comey, and there was Comey, and there was Hillary Clinton's emails, and there was Hunter Biden's laptop. And before that, there was the IRS, and there was Loretta Lynch on the tarmac, and the IRS targeting conservatives. This didn't just start with this raid. It's been going on when it was Vice President Biden, and now it's going on under President Biden.
Congressman, people do want answers, but I'm not necessarily sure that the departments involved will be forthcoming with those answers. Having said that, is there any other way that Congress can hold them accountable?
I think it's a certainty that they will not be forthcoming with the information that we will be requesting, or the judiciary or the oversight committees. They're not going to be forthcoming with that. They'll probably actually lie to us. That would be where my money would go on that one. And I think as you talk about how do you actually combat this, or 87,000 new IRS workers, or you name it, that has to come before Congress and say, what do we do with their funding? Guess what? We're not going to fund you at the same levels that you were funded before if this is how you're going to execute the business of we the people.
And thank you for bringing me back to the point on the IRS, because it's really crucial here. There are many people standing back watching the raid happening at the same time that the IRS is being expanded, or will be when the House passes the Inflation Reduction Act, which it is likely to do. Having said that, people are saying that the feeling right now, the sentiment, the zeitgeist in this country is that government is just getting too big, too controlling. If they could execute a raid like this on a former sitting president, imagine what the IRS could do to you, average mom and pop taxpayer.
Yeah, and what they have done to you, they have weaponized the IRS previously. We can anticipate that they will weaponize them again. But let's talk about the size of government. Right now, the IRS is funded at about $13.5 billion. They're adding $80 billion to the IRS. So you do the math on that, right? Customs and Border Patrol officers, there's about 20,000 of them, about 160,000 IRS workers after this bill passes. So, you know, just do the quick math on this, right? They're going to fund them $80 billion more. They're going to make sure the juice is worth the squeeze on that. Yeah. That's how they say they're going to pay for it, with hundreds of billions of new audits. And then the final thing I would say on that is this. They're going to use that to make sure that you buy an EV. And if you don't buy an EV, they're also going to use those IRS workers to probably tax you with a carbon tax.
And that's a big part of this bill as well, that green energy climate agenda push that the administration is making. And you're saying they'll come back at it through the IRS avenue as well. Congressman, good to see you this afternoon. Thank you.
All the best.